Hi folks, Sean here, Wayupna Darts. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've all had an enjoyable Christmas and Christmas with the darts at the World Championships. Obviously, congratulations to the Iceman, Gerwin Price, on the win. Threw some fantastic darts last night and over the tournament, and I think we'll all agree that this year's tournament's been really good and very high calibre darts. A video I want to do today is just a quick one, which, to be fair, at the moment doesn't really matter in a way because we can't actually go out to pubs and clubs to play in darts knockouts. But I just want to give you my sort of top 5 tips for when we can start getting back out and playing darts in pubs and clubs. I think when we can get back out, we're going to see a massive increase in players attending events. The online scene's just growing and growing. And I think when we can start hosting events in pubs and clubs again, we're going to see an increase in people turning up for darts knockouts. A common question I see get asked in a lot of chats and on Facebook is, what's the situation when you go a pub knockout or a darts knockout? Can I play? Can I attend? So I'm just going to sort of give you my top 5 tips and my thoughts on attending a darts knockout. And the first one for me is arrive early, but not too early. Some of these darts knockouts can take a long, long time. Don't be under any illusions that you're going to turn up, pay your entry, and then play your game. I've been to knockouts before in the past where it's been registration cut off at 11 in the morning, and I've arrived at the venue for like 9:30 for the warm-up, for the practice. You pay your entry fee, you get involved. The draw closes at 11, but that doesn't mean that's when it starts. So once the draw closes, registration closes at 11, you could still easily be waiting another half an hour for the draw to be done. It depends on the numbers of people that have entered, and more importantly, it depends on how the organiser of the event is doing it. So if they're drawing names and numbers out of a hat, that's going to take a while. If they're using an online piece of software, again, it could take a while. There could be glitches. So arrive early to your venue, so you get figured with your venue. You get where everything is, where all the boards are. Move around the boards, get a feel for all the boards. But just remember that if you arrive 2 hours before when registration is meant to close, your first game might be 3 hours, 3.5 hours. As I say, I've been to events where registration closed at 11 and I still haven't played my game by 1 o'clock. Big events run by popular people that run these events, you'll see they'll move smoother. If your local pub's just doing one with 16 players, again, probably not going to be too bad. But assess the room, see how many boards there are. If it's a room with 4 boards and only 2 are being used and 2 are practice, you know you're going to be in for a bit of a wait if there's 30 players in there. If there's 7 boards, 1 practice, one of them will be practice of 6 in use, you know you're going to get a bit of a flow. So that's my first sort of tip. Second, register upon arrival to venue. So again, when you arrive at the venue, arrive a little bit early, but go straight over to registration. Don't leave it till the last minute. If you've gone there no doubt to play darts. So on arrival, go up to the registration or find out where some places will call it control. Find out where the registration, where the control is. Go over, pay your money, put your name in. If then maybe an hour later you're looking around the room and you've got some of the top pros in your local area or players have come down from different areas and you then don't fancy it, well, that's the reality of darts, unfortunately. Sometimes you can go to an event and look round and not recognise anyone, and then the next thing you know, a 2-time world champion can come walking in. I've had that happen. It's just what darts is. But surely, for me, and I think a lot of darts players, you want to play the best darts players. Yeah, alright, you might look at that and go, well, I've paid my £10 to enter today and I'm going to go out first round. on that basis, should you be attending darts knockouts? Maybe, maybe your confidence isn't ready to attend big darts knockouts. But for the person who's organising the darts event, it's great when you rock up and you pay and register straight away. So you're not going to the bar, get your drinks, or seeing your mates, and then having the guy at control or the girl at control shout out any more for darts. Yeah, I haven't put in. Or at worst case scenario, and I have seen this happen, the tournament kicks off, the person comes up to control and says, where am I? When am I on? And they're not in there because they forgot. So on your arrival, just go to the registration and sign up. The next one is an odd one, but an obvious one. Make sure you know when you are due to play. Now, this isn't always easy at some events. Bigger events will probably publish a list. If it's a straight knockout, they might publish a list. So they'll say, you're in board 4, or your game will be on 6th on board 3. But listen out for your name, because there's nothing worse than being the opposite player to you, your opponent, standing there wondering where you are. It's great in a way because you get the practice darts and you don't have to wait, but your tension builds. So go to control, say, when am I on? They'll have an idea. Now, if it's a knockout that's only using 2 dartboards and there's 32 people in there, they might just be calling whoever the next game is onto a board. But they'll be able to give you an idea. And they might turn around and go, John Smith's playing John Nettles. You're after that game. So you'll know who John Smith or John Nettles is. So you'll be able to go, right, visualisation. When they finished, I'm going on. A lot of venues will use microphones. So they'll shout it out. A lot of time, though, all you'll get is the control people will just sit there and shout out, John Smith, John Nettles, board 4. John Smith, John Nettles, board 4. And that's it. And then might be one of them people who are standing at the bar and the person's coming up to you going, did you just say your name? Oh, I don't know, did they? Oh, I didn't hear him. And then you've got to go over, did you shout out John Smith? Yeah, I did. You're on board 4 against John Nettles. Oh, right, okay. So try and work out when you might be on. It will benefit you on that day. But as I say, you've got to remember that when the draw's made, you could be waiting a while. But also, you'll have an idea. The BDO British Open used to do it brilliantly. You used to turn up at I think it was 8:30 in the morning. You'd register to say that you were there. And they'd say, right, you need to come back to control at 10:15 because your estimated game time of playing might be 10:25 or 10:35. So you had an idea. So you could probably go back to your hotel, or the pub as I did in my case. But you get that idea of when you're going to be on and when you're going to be playing. So just bear that one in mind. The next one's one that not a lot of people will probably jump for, but I always think it's a good one. If they need markers in the prelim, which they will, round 1 or prelims, offer to help. When you go a darts knockout, there will be prelim games, no doubt. Very rare you'll have 32 dead. You will end up probably with a prelim game. They need someone to mark them games to get them going. If you are a confident marker, go and offer. Go up to control and say, right, I'll mark the prelim on board 4. The sooner they start playing darts, the sooner it is that you might be able to get a game. Now, the chances of you being called while you're marking and that prelim, you marking that prelim and you being called to play your game are slim. It is possible, but they are slim. And if the control know that you're marking, they will wait. A decent darts knockout organiser control team will wait because there aren't enough people that will offer to mark in the prelim. And by offering a mark in your prelim, you are getting the tournament up and running and get it started. And also, you're not getting worried about your marking as well. Now, if you're like me, I don't like chalk on my fingers. If it's a pen mark, I'll be straight in. If it's a chalk mark, I will maybe have a look Have they gone? But if they haven't, I will go over and I will say, listen, guys, I'll mark board 1. Okay, so it makes your tournament start up quicker. And that brings me, into my last sort of top tip in a way. Mark your game if and when you lose. So if you are playing in your second round game, you've lost 3-0, you're not happy, just mark for the game. Don't go to the bar, don't go to the toilet unless you absolutely have to. Moment you shoot your opponent's hand or give them a fist bump or whatever it may well be, go to the marker who's marked your game, thank them for the marking your game as well, take the pen off them, take the chalk off them, stand there and wait for the next game. As a new person attending a darts knockout, which I'm aiming this at, you guys will be coming into these events and you'll get your name called out and you'll go to your board, and let's say your opponent's not turned up yet because, as I say, they're at the bar or they've not heard the name called out. You'll be throwing your nerves, you'll be tensing up a little bit maybe. Then your opponent turns up and you're both throwing your practice darts, and then about 28 throws in, you'll both look at each other and go, we've got a marker. That's the problem with darts knockouts. And that's also what takes the time for darts knockouts. Because people will finish their game, they'll have lost, they're not happy, no one's ever happy. They'll go to the bar, they'll get a pint, or they'll go, I've done it, I've put my hands up, I put it in my blog once. I actually left a knockout once, and I apologised to the guy afterwards. Not proud of it. But I know the indications, the domino effect that can produce by not going to mark the game that I should mark. If you're turning up to a darts knockout and you haven't marked all day, there's 2 things there. 1, you've either been lucky, or 2, you've won the damn event. But mark your game. If you lose, mark your game. Stand by the board, mark it. Now, there are variations of this one as well. There are people that will attend darts knockouts that will mark for you. They float around the room, they'll come with someone, and they'll mark the game for maybe a pint, £2, whatever it may well be. The worst I've ever seen, the best for the guy I saw was a competition in Blackpool where someone paid a lad £50 to mark his games. So it was basically worked out 10. He had to play 5 games because it was a Grand Slam of Darts style system, group system. 5 games, you paid him £50, £10 a mark. There are them people that are out there who don't want to mark a game of darts, and that's fine. If you don't want to mark a game of darts, that's fine, not a problem. But £50, that's you're good. You're doing well if you can afford drop out £50 for someone to mark your game of darts. But on average, there will be people at events who will mark them for maybe a pint or £2. There was a system in place in Manchester once whereby if you didn't want to mark, you left £2 on the hockey, and you informed control that board 3, I'm not marking, I've left £2. And then control would say there's £2 mark for board 3. So then things do happen. But again, if you can mark a game, and let's be fair, we all can mark a game of darts. If we're throwing darts, we're adding up, and we know what we want, so we can all mark a game of darts. And what you'll see going forward as well, I think, when we get back into the pubs and clubs, I think we're going to see a lot more of electric tablets, like with Dart Connect on and stuff. I think they're going to come more and more popular. So if you're using, a tablet scorer, it's a lot better as well, because if you do make an error, it's just a quick delete. Some of them old school dart scorers, they were a nightmare, because if you press the wrong button, you wipe the damn game out. I remember playing in a tournament in Bridlington, and we were 2-2 into the last leg, and we probably thrown 9 darts each at this point. And the guy inputted my score wrong, and I said, "Oh, you've got that scores wrong." It's polite just to tell him you've got the score wrong, but tell him after the other person's thrown his darts. And as he pressed the screen, the machine, it cleared the scores. So we lost the averages, we lost the scores and everything. And technology's got better. now with the darts scoring. But again, you can't go wrong with a pen, you know, or a bit of chalk. You can't go wrong with it. And that, yeah, that leads it back. If you have put a score wrong and you know you've put a score wrong, just wait until the other person's thrown to change it. They'll tell you. If you've marked the score wrong, they will tell you. Some players are more polite in the way they'll tell you, but they will tell you. So they are my sort of 5 things to just think about if you're attending a pub or a club darts knockout when we can get back out to play darts. Thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Share it with your darts community and your darts friends. We'd love you to drop a subscribe on this channel as well. We're bringing you varied content over the coming months. A lot of practice sessions with Go Darts Pro. We're going to have some live games coming up on here as well. And obviously just me rambling about darts knockouts and everything like that. What will come up on the screen in a minute will be a promo for a darts league that I am running. It does start in 2 weeks' time on January the 18th. Registration shuts off on January the 16th. You don't need to arrive early for this, but you need to register for January the 16th. And it's something different. It's an 8-week dart league, but it's based around the Swiss system. So the advert will come up on screen in a minute. I shall leave it up on the screen. If you need any more info, please visit dartsinstoke.co.uk. That's dartsinstoke.co.uk. And you can find more information out there about this knockout. It's a Swiss system knockout. So if you are a 2-2 player, you will play someone with a similar record to you. So the 4-0 players who will be at the top of the league won't be playing the players who are at the bottom of the league. You will play someone on a matched ranking. So if you have won 3 games, you will play with someone who's probably won 3 games or has got a 2-1 record. If you have lost 4 games, you will not be playing someone who's got a 3-0 or a 4-0 record. We've had good interest in it so far. And as I say, more info can be found at dartsinstoke.co.uk. So once again, smash the like, smash that subscribe for me. It would be really good to get a load of new subscribers here on Wayupna Darts channel. My name's Sean, and as I just like to remind folk, just mind your rockies.